All right, what's up, everybody? Hey, we've got the enemy in the house, everybody. It is a good friend of mine, but also an enemy on the field. It's Jason. He's over with Sports Talk Wisconsin, part of the Sports Talk Network, Sports Talk Detroit Plus. So if you are a Packers fan and you're watching this, make sure you like and go subscribe to that channel. He's on the hunt for 1,000, aren't you, Jason? You're ready.
I am. I am. Wow, what an introduction. And
Thank
also you
you.
don't have to be a Packer fan to subscribe. I mean, you can just love great Packer content, even if you don't like
True.
the Packers.
Yeah.
It's great Packer content, I'm telling you.
It's just great to be here. Um,
It's great to be
it's
here.
just good. So here's the deal. You're ready. I think the better question is are the Green Bay Packers ready? Are they ready for what they're about to face on Thanksgiving? How confident are you going into this game against the mighty Detroit Lions?
Okay, so if you were to talk to me a week prior to last week, so a couple weeks ago, all right, that was a
Okay.
really long way of going 2 weeks ago. So if you're talking to me 2 weeks ago, I would have just said, "Hey, listen, really honestly," and I still say this, I say it on my channel. I really don't care from here on out. It's just like I don't even I'm not even thinking about the playoffs for the Green Bay Packers. It's more
Okay.
like, okay, what can the Packers do right now to set themselves up for success? What do we got in Jordan Love? Is he our quarterback for the future? We have to have all those questions answered because we don't want to throw a bunch of money at somebody like that. But we've got a lot of Packers fans super pumped up and excited because guess what? We won a couple, which
Yeah.
is hilarious, right? So it's just like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like all of a sudden, things look different. And are the playoffs going to happen for the Green Bay Packers? More than likely not. But here's the thing about the Packers right now. I almost feel like, and I'm not comparing the two, but it's almost like when the Packers faced the Lions last
Mhm.
season. When the Lions didn't have anything to lose, they knew they were out of the playoffs. Packers had everything to win, and I was like, yeah, this game is going to be dangerous. I kind of feel that same way and it's not like this loss is going to knock Detroit out or anything like that. But Green Bay, they're figuring some things out right now. So they're they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah. And the way you were kind of talking about that, you were talking about, are we thinking playoffs? And you were like, not necessarily. You're actually on the bubble. Now you're a game and a half back of the Vikings,
Yeah,
but have you guys played the Vikings yet?
we have. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So sorry. But I'm assuming you have at least one more against them, so that's gonna
Yeah, we
help
do.
you. That can make up most of that, at least one of the 1.5 games. So it looks like, I mean, you guys are sitting at 4-6, along with multiple other teams, the Bucks, the Falcons, the Rams, but you own the tiebreaker right now.
Yeah.
So you own the tiebreaker. So you actually are on the playoff bubble, which is really good. But let me ask you this. As a Packers fan, this is always interesting to me. I'm going to ask this and then we're going to get into the game itself. And this isn't going to be the longest video in the world, but I do want to get into the game itself. So be thinking about that. But are you at a point right now where you're thinking, let's keep winning playoffs? Or are you at a point where you're like, man, we're probably going to win 6, 7 games and like screw our chances to get a high draft pick and a future quarterback? Kind of what's your thought right now as a Packer fan, and what have you seen by people commenting on your channel on where most of the fans are right now?
I think most of them are just like, hey, let's just we're in fire mode right now. They are, right?
Okay.
Let's fire Brian Gutekunst. Let's fire Matt LaFleur. Let's fire all these guys, right? And I wouldn't disagree with some of those firings, but here's
LaFleur?
where
Do you agree with LaFleur?
for a second I did. For a
Oh,
second I did. I had all the emotions playing into it when we were putting goose eggs up every freaking first half. We weren't
yeah,
even
that was
coming
rough.
close to scoring.
That was rough.
And it's like, okay, you gotta figure something else out. You got to do something different, and he just
Okay.
wasn't. So
Okay.
I was just that to me, it was very simple. It's like get Jaden Reed involved, and they have, and guess what? They're winning. So
Yeah.
I think he listened to the channel. Maybe he heard that. He's like, you know what? I'm going to
I
take
think
Jason's
that's
advice
probably
there.
what it is.
Yeah,
'Cause you're
right.
like the go-to source for Packer content for
Yeah,
sure.
man.
I think that's definitely what happened. So
I'm
you're
pretty
saying
sure.
everybody was in fire mode. Where are they at right now?
Right now they're all in, hey, let's win, let's go to the playoffs. They're all in that mode, and that's honestly, I'm in the mode of like, let's just figure things out. So if we have to continue winning to do so, we're the youngest team in the NFL. Is
Yeah.
getting younger going to continue to help us? Okay, yeah, good talent is going to be great, but it's more coaching. Joe Barry is a joke. You guys know that. He was in Detroit. Joe Barry's our D coordinator there. He's terrible, absolutely terrible. So we've got talent.
That's
I
funny.
would rather win and figure things out than really lose and move up a few spots, to be honest with you.
Okay, great. So you haven't thrown in the towel yet.
No.
So here's something I said. I want you to respond to this. And I know this isn't going to sound nice, Jason. I get that. Um, I said something in our post game after we beat the Bears, and that was a miracle ending for us to get that victory. And I was looking up and down the Bears roster and I was seeing kind of what they did. And I asked this question. Somebody proved to me that the Green Bay Packers are better than the Chicago Bears on paper. Are you that man? Do you believe you're better than the Chicago Bears right now?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we really are.
I mean, yeah.
We've already
We have a better
played
record.
them. That was like that was the only win that we won convincingly.
It
Now,
was
mind you,
going away.
it was the first game of the season, so we had a lot of hype on us, but equally as much the Bears did as well. But we are better than the Bears on paper. We really are. I mean, we've got, I'm not just saying that because I'm a homer. I just feel we are much better. They've got bigger question
Okay.
marks in Chicago than we do.
Sure. And there's many players on your roster that have been there and done that before. They know what it takes. I do understand that side of it. Okay, so let's go against the Lions. What gives you a confidence? And you can answer this in one of two ways. You can answer this for hey, I like what the Packers have here, or I don't think the Lions are great here. What makes you think that you can walk away with a victory on Turkey Day in Ford Field?
Well, the lines have not. Here's what a good team does. A good team finds its lull, and that's where I feel Detroit is at because they almost lost to the Chargers. They almost lose to the Bears. Now, the Detroit team of now, as opposed to before, they're finding ways and finding ways to lose. So
Yeah.
that makes me, nervous, but in the same sense, not because it's like, okay, Detroit is on that plateau that they've reached right now. But every team hits that big hiccup, right? They're in that hiccups phase right now. I do think they are very beatable, especially looking at their last two games, seeing Goff throw 3 picks, all that stuff. Yeah, Fields running all over them. They almost ran for 200 yards at like 185 yards or something like that against the Lions. So I do feel they do have some weakness there. Now, pass rushing ability, Jordan Love is going to be running for his life, but he's not as athletic as Justin Fields. He's just got to get the
Right.
ball out quick to like guys like Jaden Reed with speed.
Yeah, I think with Jordan Love, he needs to actually embrace the fact that he can run the ball because
Yeah.
that's our biggest struggle for the Lions is when a quarterback breaks the pocket, when a quarterback improvises and runs after standing in the pocket for 3, 4, 5 seconds and then goes. That's our biggest weakness, man. So I understand what you're saying there. To an extent, I do think the Lions are in a little bit of a lull, but they just keep winning.
Yeah.
They
They do.
just keep winning, and they had no business winning that game against the Bears with 4 turnovers. It was 3 picks by Goff, but there was also a fumble on a kick return, which, as
Uh,
you might imagine, gave them phenomenal field position. But to win a game after giving up 4 turnovers, I feel pretty confident going into the next one because you think you're going to clean up that kind of stuff. But at the same time, the team's playing well enough to overcome that.
yeah.
And they played well enough. The offense played well enough to overcome just a really awful defensive performance against the Chargers. So
Yeah.
it was interesting to see the Packers beat the Chargers too, though. I thought that, and it was in Green Bay. I understand that, but that's got to be your most exciting victory of the season, is it not?
It was, and only for one reason is Jordan Love put up his best performance yet, right?
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of people believing in him. His team is believing in him, and that as you know, I mean, that could be a dangerous recipe for
Mhm.
that's like your what do they call it? Sixth man? What do they call it? Your fifth man? And in football it would be your 12th man out on the
12th
field.
man.
But
Yeah.
whatever. So that is like that confidence that he's got right now. He's whatever. He's doing very well. Threw for 322 yards. Oh, could have been a 400-yard performance.
Yeah, yeah, he
But
played well.
yeah,
He played well. So I'm interested to see what that looks like. If we're just going to try and contain him and let him throw, or if we're going to try and get him off his spot. So that should be interesting. But
yeah.
that's all I got for you on this one. We got another video that we're going to do together. So we're going to get out of here for this one. But before we get out of here, make sure you like and subscribe both to Sports Talk Detroit. If you're a Packers fan who happened to stumble across this channel, hey, couple of good ones for you. Sports Talk Wisconsin. That's where Jason is. We also have another one, Sports Talk Extra, if you're just a big fan of the NFL. So like, subscribe, comment. Jason, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
See you.